Brothers and sisters, good afternoon to everyone. It has been a long day. We have been here since last week, Friday. Today would make 1 week that the people in this country have been sacrificing. The challenges that we face are not very insurmountable. What we have this afternoon, we've been in meetings since 2:30. We have an agreement, but it's for you to decide whether or not the agreement is sufficient. We believe that it is. And the reason why I can say that to you is that when we had a conversation about who was going to be going to the meeting, and we were talking about taking 10 people in the meeting, we made sure it was a course selection of individuals to make sure people's interests were protected at that table or represented at the table. And that's why I say that I think what we have in front of us, what's going to be read for you in the next few minutes, I believe that we've delivered what we were asked to deliver. But you be the judge of that. But before having Reverend Tweed read the agreement that we got from the government a few moments ago, let's just be clear. We were down there having a conversation about the Premier needing to address the nation. And I made it crystal clear to the Premier of the country that you can't address the nation until we talk to the people. We're only talking about, actually we're talking about the same media. The same media that you want to address, we have to address. Not trying to split hairs, sir, but I think that the mere fact that we had a meeting yesterday at 1 o'clock that lasts for 2 hours. It took them 24 or 26 hours to get back to us with this. There was a half hour or so to talk to the people, and then you can have whatever press conference you want. And that's why, no disrespect to the media, we tell you were down the hill, come back up here so we can have this statement, be read to the people for the first time, as opposed to having a statement down there, and then you try to come up here, because that would have been grossly unfair to the people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I write further to my letters dated the 9th and 15th of March 2016. I note your proposal to government during our meeting on the 16th of March 2016. I wish to present you government's offer in respect of Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2016, the bill. This proposal concerns the bill specifically. First, the government will withdraw the bill. And will consider different parts of the bill in stages as laid out in the paragraphs below. Second, a consultative working group comprising of key stakeholders will be set up to discuss issues relating to the bill. That working group would make recommendations on and consider different aspects of the bill in stages following principles of good consultation. The first stage will see the working group dealing with the children and family provisions of the bill. It is expected that the working group will submit its recommendations and the bill be amended, if applicable, and tabled in the House on the 13th of May. In particular, this stage would address the following: Adoption provisions, clause 5, inserting a new section 18AA, dealing with children who are born in Bermuda or who arrived in Bermuda at a young age, clause 14, inserting a new section 31AA1B, maintaining the integrity of mixed status families, clause 15, amending section 31B. The second stage will see the working group dealing with the grant of permanent resident certificates after 15 years. Such provisions would be tabled and debated in the House during the summer session. The third... Now, it's important that we listen, and if we've spent a week asking people not only to listen but to hear, then we should expect of ourselves that we listen and we hear. Is that all right? The third stage will see the working group dealing with the grant of Bermuda status after 20 years. Such provisions would be taken up in the House during the new session in November. The government shall consult with the undersigned on the composition of the working group. Work back schedules specific to the delivery of the various reports from the working groups will be determined to ensure that we adhere to the tabling and debating schedule as prescribed in this letter. In addition, any wider public consultation will be a matter for the working group to manage in accordance with the agreed timelines. There could be some flexibility as to the timing of the second and the third stages. Concurrent to the above process, the Labor Advisory Council will be asked to put forward recommendations in respect of the following: amendments to work permit policies to address a living wage and training requirements for Bermudians, cracking down further on unscrupulous business tactics that undermine Bermudian labor, working more with the international business sector to provide summer job opportunities for Bermudians, continuing with government's efforts to similarly provide such summer job opportunities, continued robust enforcement of work permit policies and such other matters of mutual interest as may be agreed. Finally, timelines may need to be amended by agreement, subject to any court decisions that may arise in the coming months. As previously stated, all sides are committed to working for the betterment of Bermuda. I trust that this fair and reasonable offer will be accepted to help resolve the current situation. Upon signing of this agreement and the House resuming business, the government undertakes to discharge the injunction with no order as to costs. Sincerely, the Honorable Michael H. Dunkley, JP, MP, Premier, and Minister of National Security. The above is agreed by and on behalf of those persons whose names appear below, representing various organizations. And it is signed by, that's why it says representing.
Thank you.
Chris Herbert, Crystal Caesar, Ed Ball, Reverend Nicholas Tweed, Molly Burgess, and C. Walton Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
This agreement gives us everything we have been calling for the past month. It gives us everything. We called for the bill to be withdrawn. the bill is withdrawn. It will be withdrawn. We call for consultation prior to any new legislation coming forward. We will get consultation. We will shape that consultative committee. We will shape that consultative committee. All of the issues that you read or heard outlined will be subject to amendment. So even when you talk about the issuance of PRCs, the issuance of Bermuda status, we need to discuss the criteria. We need to discuss if it should be proceeded with. We need to discuss whether there should be quotas in place, how many, what should be the number for each given year, what should be the circumstances. These are all the details that need to be worked out. And we can assure you, we did not go through this process to give up on what our objective is. That Bermudians come first in their country, but we recognize the need for immigration reform. We have achieved something that the government has refused to work toward for 3 years. And at this final hour, we do have an agreement that represents exactly what we were demanding. So I just want to applaud yourself. I think that all of us who worked so hard to get to this point, all of the various stakeholders, and you the people have made this possible. This is what we wanted, this is what we demanded, and that has been made very clear today. All the power is with the people. Thank you.
Now, if you will, allow me to clarify just a few other things, hearing some of the murmurs that were going on in relationship to what was read and what may have been said. My understanding, and if I had it wrong, then you need to tell me that now, is that we ask for comprehensive immigration reform, which includes a pathway to status. That's what we've been talking about for the past 5 days. And then walking around and talking to people, for the last 5 days, no one has said anything different. What we have in front of you today is no different than what we've been asking for. That this consultation process is going to start, or it's going to finish the way it should have started. In the respect that we presented a document also that speaks about the consultation process and how it needs to happen. The committee that's going to be set up, there's a terms of reference for that committee, and as it relates to consultation, that's going to be part of the terms of reference. So all the word blocks, if I can use that term, the checks and balances that needs to be put in place going forward from today, you're going to trust the people that are going to be sitting at the table on behalf of the people, because we talked about what the makeup of that committee was going to look like. We have allowed the government and us to sit down to have a conversation what it's going to look like. We know for well that if we set it and left it up to the government, they'd have it 70% one way and 30% another way. We had a conversation. We had a conversation about that. So instead of sitting there and agreeing whether it was going to be 70-30, 60-40, or 50-50, we know for well that we wanted to be 50-50. And why did we say that? We know that the government has brought legislation to the table in the past, or proposed legislation, and you see where, they've asked, and I'll use the Public Bodies Act as the example, where they were asking for 5 representatives from, let's say, the employer section, and 2 representatives from the union section. And we'll say, hold on a minute, 5-2? That means anytime we're going to have an issue, it looks like it's all going to go one way. So we recognize those things also, So we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's as we go. So we're going to leave a lot of the responsibility now is in the hands of that committee, protecting your interests. So I understand your concerns, I understand your reservations, but when we started out as asking for comprehensive immigration reform, we are where we need to be, because the comprehensive immigration reform is not going to take place. I mean, you shake that to see what it looks like. So I don't see how, listening to some of the murmurs that are going on, I don't see how you could say that we didn't achieve our I am. We did.
Yes, we did.
We did achieve it. I don't see how, and know if you had someone else in your brain, and I say that with the utmost respect, because when we stood here the other day, somebody asked me to give you a couple of examples of what comprehensive immigration reform looked like. I gave you 2 examples.
Yes.
First example would be is that somebody was here for 20 years, and if you're gonna give them a passport, or you give them a passport for her and somewhere else. I think the example I gave you that maybe that person's gotta, tell you where the allegiance line.
That's right.
You simply can't serve 2 masters. That was the example I gave you. The second example I gave you wasn't just touched it. Recognize looking at the size of Bermuda, we need to look at other jurisdictions that have handled this situation and find out how we're going to handle it. And if it means that if we get a jurisdiction that's the same size as Bermuda, end up doing quotas of 25 or 30, then maybe we'll do 15. I don't know. But certainly we're not going to be looking to give the country away. So let's go to question. All the naysayers out there that think about, you think we're done this or we're done that, we're done the other. We delivered exactly what you asked us to deliver. Now, I'm not sure that, as we said, that if you believe that what we have is not satisfactory, then certainly at any point in time, and I don't like to do this because it causes division. This process that we have in front of us right now is no different than when we go back to our membership and we say to them, we have an agreement on the table. And what happens when we do that is that the majority carries. And we do understand a lot of times, a lot of people are disappointed. We got that. So if we ask for, let's just say we ask for $100 rate of wage increase, and we got 70. But when we come back to get the ratification from the membership, 80 members agree. If we got 100 members, 80 members agree, 20 members disagree. And that's okay. You can disagree, but the majority carries.
Yes.
Majority rules. We understand the dynamics of what we have in front of us. But all I'm saying to you, let's not tear apart. And I say that with the utmost respect. Let's not tear apart all the good work that we've done over the last 5 days. And those of you who's got reservations about what we're not, we need your input to make sure we dot that I and cross that T. That's how we put the rest of the nuts and bolts in that we need to put in. That's how we put it in. So if any lawyers have got any suggestions, or any other members of the general public got anything, put your suggestions in, so we can protect what we need to protect, which is our children. Now, I can't see everybody's hand that's down the bottom, or if there's other people on the back, but certainly this is a democracy, and because we've been operating as a people, all I'm saying, all I want is a show of hands so everybody says that what we're got on the table, we can work with. Put your hand up. Put your hands down. Put your hands down. And since this is a democracy, and those who disagree, you can put your hand up. You can put your hand up. Fine. Make no mistake about it. And I want to say this, and I certainly want to look at what has transpired over the last 5 days. I want to thank, first of all, let me start off, and I think that it's no more than right, that I first of all thank Sir John Swan. And the reason why I'm thanking Sir John Swan, because I think I said to you yesterday that we were on our way here to the house yesterday. Mr. John Swan came around to Union Square and asked us if we can have a conversation. And I said absolutely. Because he believed that enough was enough, and it was time for somebody to bring the parties to the table. And as a result of that, I want to say to you, sir, a sincere thank you. Thank you. We also...
Gentlemen, you have refreshments on. Right there in your head, right in front of you, Arnold.
Not here. No. Sir George. Hold on. Thank you, Brother Chris.
I raised
Wait, let's relax. Hold on a second, wait. Brother Darrell, hold on a second, Brother Darrell, hold on a second. Let me say this to you, right? I'm gonna let Brother Darrell speak, but I just want to say a couple of things before he does speak, right? All I'm asking Brother Darrell, if you could keep your comments brief. The reason why I don't want Brother Darrell to speak, here's a senior person within our community. He is 89 years of age. 89. He marched with us yesterday. There were a lot of seniors in there over the last 5 days. He's got something that he wants to contribute, so I think we should let him take a couple of minutes and contribute what he wants to contribute. You okay with that? Yeah.
Just one thing I am not really clear on. Turn around. I do understand that you have succeeded in getting the majority of the propositions that we put forward. And I believe I should congratulate you because you've done an excellent job. There's only one thing that I'm a bit perturbed about, and that is the point of immigration after 20 years. I do think that needs more consideration, considering the size of this island. And when you go into your next consultation, after you go to face them, I believe that you should really point this out and be very careful what you agree to when you come to the final point of allowing these people to settle after 20 years.
Thank you, Brother Darrell. Thank you. Listen up, because I think that we need to also thank, as we did yesterday, over the past 5 days, there have been a lot of businesses that have contributed food, water, and without calling all the names, we certainly want to once again thank them for all their support over the past 5 days. Certainly once again want to thank the police for the cooperation over the last 5 days. I think we've had mutual cooperation over the last 5 days.